I can tell you that what I know about a learning disability is that it's an invisible disability. That makes it difficult to identify because it doesn't show up with any physical characteristics. It's very common. 1 in 10 Canadians has a learning disability. So that's a lot of us, absolutely. That we have great abilities. Area of deficit, though, is that we have difficulty processing information. We don't have difficulty thinking. These are two totally different things. It's the way that we manage information, perhaps the way we organize it in our brains, or maybe in the whole memory piece of when we need to retrieve, or sometimes in the communication piece as well. So we need to be mindful of that. I risk it here and tell you I'm not a fan of the term, of the actual category name. I mean, certainly the word disability infers inability, and that is polar opposite to the actual truth. People with a learning disability absolutely learn. They simply may learn in a different way. They may use different methods. They may use different equipment to finish tasks with efficiency. The biggest change for me was that I became withdrawn. And really, students really at this point, when they feel different, when they feel dumb in actual fact, because school is saying you don't fit in there, you have to stay here. So in this part of my journey, students that share this with me, you either withdraw or you act out. It wasn't that I wasn't trying before, but when you can have a teacher communicate that they are trying to get you or do get you, then there is a cooperative learning opportunity there. Well, interestingly enough, right now in my life, I'm still in schools. Certainly as in my position as an education coordinator, I get to develop and deliver workshops for teachers, for parents, for students, so that they understand what a learning disability is, what it isn't, and what they can do about it. I mean, that's the power of it. I would say that, like everyone, I'm the sum total of all of my experiences. I've had incredible teachers in school and outside of school. The 4 strongest ones really that taught me the most were my children, though. I have 4 amazing, brilliant adult children who are fully launched. But they guided me to where I am today. And it really started with I have 3 boys. All 3 boys are identified with a learning disability. The very first child was actually my second child, and he was identified as early as grade 2. And because what it is this is a very vital young man, continues to be high energy, very kinetic learner, and he was unhappy in school. He just was of the type of personality type that if I can't do it the best or really well, I don't want to do it. And I'm not doing it. So I was really having to seek out some help. And I got support from the school because they thought, oh, they had a real behavior problem on their hands. Well, back then, the way they tested kids, because special education had just come to be, so it was the early 70s, teachers had some training, whatever, but Blair was an enigma, absolutely. And so off we went on Kirkwood Drive at the hospital there. They used to have a children's services spot. And he had a full battery of tests, full assessments for 2 days. And so after that, when the psychologist called me in, he said, he's got good news and bad news. Your son doesn't read. He may always have difficulty with reading and writing, but oh my gosh, he is smart. As a matter of fact, his test indicated that he was at genius level intellectually. So he's giving me all this information that Blair will always use his strength, very strong cognitive strength, good interpersonal skills, very strong vocabulary. All I heard was that Blair was smart. I don't think I've ever felt hopeless because I think I'm naturally too competitive. That's just part of my personality. No always meant go to me, like don't tell me I cannot do something. I do know that I have felt frustrated. I have felt frustrated that it takes me longer to do most things. It may take me twice the effort for half the gain. What a learning disability does, it robs you of time. It takes you longer to do things. Life is school. Really, I mean, we have opportunities to learn. I think my natural curious nature will keep me open to that. I want a world where students are not judged based on absolutely anything, let alone the fact that they may learn differently. I want there to be more than lip service, that there are different kinds of smart, that people need to hone those innate abilities that they have, whether it be in the sciences, whether it be in music, or any of the subject lines. The work of Howard Gardner, I'm a cheerleader for him too. I think he's absolutely amazing. I hope that every child can do the same thing I want for my grandchildren, that they pack up with their lunch, they pack up their potential. When they head out into that world, it is with supports and supporters in place if they need them, but otherwise still challenging. That nice finite thing of things that are too easy and too hard, that we can have teachers that are sensitive to that so they can hone in on that, and always just getting us moving forward, but absolutely based on our needs. And there's an expression from Maya D'Angelo that says, we're all really doing the best we can, and when we know more, we'll do better. So if a teacher can take that, if they can take an awareness and now do some application and absolutely relate to people, students appropriately that are struggling, get that their students don't wake up deciding, I'm not going to learn today. They don't go through all that trouble to get to school just to sit there. If they're having difficulty, it's real in their lives, and we don't want to lose them.